Morning. This is Nigel Rolfe, Commodore. I'm going to take you through the officer of the day. I've arrived about 9 o'clock, so about just over an hour before the start of the race. I'm probably a bit early if I'm honest. So I'm just going to take you through the opening up routine that we're going to go through and go from there. Okay, so as you come into the club, the first thing to do is going to be to actually open up the clubhouse and the bar area and all the doors. So the keys are hold on a second, let me show you. Keys to the clubhouse are located on the keypad here, and inside the keypad you'll find there's two keys, one for the club room and one for the bar. Now the reason for only doing the bar is there's two things. One is that the iPad is located in the bar, which is useful for the trackers. And I'll sum up the rest. The other thing I'll just quickly show you in here in the bar is if you ever want to use the microphone, I'm sure I have to use the steps, but there are two switches. There's one here and one here. And then the microphone itself, sorry about that. Microphone has a switch on the bottom, which you can then turn on. Okay, and the microphone is inactive. As we go across the club floor, we go over to the main desk. In the main desk, in the top drawer, there are various keys, and they are labelled right door and left door, and those open the balcony doors. That is the left door, and this is the right door. And look at this, a beautiful day in the tropics, breeze and sunshine, a typical Bradfield day. Okay, just to help the race officer, if you want to know what power boats have been allocated on the day, on this board it now tells you by date and by boat who's using what board, and that's located underneath the clubhouse itself. Two very important keys: fuel store, garage keys. Make sure you lock the garage locks. After opening them, it will stop the garage being shut and the garage keys being locked inside. And here's the tracker tables. They need to be moved out onto the balcony, ready for the trackers to be laid out. Back over by the desk, you'll see the trackers. The best thing to do with the trackers is to put them into the box here in number order, and then lay them out onto the tables in number order. Now it may seem like a lot of work here, but actually this can be done in about 10 minutes. At the end of the day, it's the reverse, where put the trackers in the box, bring them in, put them on the charging points. You'll notice each of the charging stations has numbers, so you know which tracker numbers, short numbers that is, go on to which of the charging docking stations. The important thing about the trackers is to make sure that red lights are showing. Sometimes these connectors here may come loose if they're pulled out of it, and it is simply a plug-in job. Okay, easy. Race officer's equipment. What you can see here is the timer for the pursuit race. That's located once again next to the desk. And you've then got over here all the flags that are needed. You need horns for the race officer and the race manual. In the race manual, you've also got about the tracker management system, which explains how that works. And the whole flag sequencing as well. Hi, just showing you that I'm just putting the trackers, so basically you just take them off the charge and put them into the box in order, and it makes it easy then to put them outside. Right, some important thing about the trackers. ODM, that goes into a pouch and goes on the outer distance mark. Float, If you're using a floating mark, then that will be attached to the floating mark that's used. Pole, that will either go onto the mast on shore or the mast on the committee boat. With all of these, make sure that they're recovered after the race and put back on charge. Morning campers, I just want to take you through a quick demonstration of the Sail Racer Tracker app. Just as an overview, the guidance is in the race manual, but I thought I'd just take you through and show you the screens. Here, various different events. Now what's missing at the moment is that is the actual racing itself you want to go into. You want to go into the manage. So we just click on to settings. We go into race admins and we enter the code, which for this series is, I can share this with you. Right, now what you can see here at the bottom is this thing called manage has appeared. So I click on manage and then we go into various things. You've got race management here, and as you scroll down here you'll see the various races. Now on Sunday, this Sunday coming up, you can see already it's race 4 Pursuit, so we can go on to race 4 Pursuit. Now as this loads up, the key thing is here we allow the buoy preset. This basically finds our marks on the course. The most important thing you need to do as a race officer is enter a course, and you enter the marks in order with a space in between each one. So I've done 1, 2, 4, which is fine. Start time is 10:30. Now that's very important. So you must start your race timer at 24 minutes past to give the 6 minutes. Now, if your race starts late, then obviously we need to adjust the time on here, but providing you start the race on time, you don't need to do anything. The other thing is, of course, it's a 100-minute pursuit. So the 100 minutes ends at 12:10. So this is already set up to finish at exactly the race end time. And you don't have to do anything, which is brilliant. So the only thing as a race officer on a pursuit is put the course in, make sure the start time's correct. If that's 5 minutes later, you have to adjust that by 5 minutes. When you adjust anything, of course, it's not a finish through start because it's a pursuit. If it's a handicap race, you would push finish through start. And let me just go through, so on a pursuit, you don't need to do that. Okay, once you've made your amendments and updated the course, you press update race. After updating the race, it takes a few seconds to do that. It'll take you through to another screen with the course. Here we go, the course. At the bottom of this screen is the word finish. You need to press this, for some bizarre reason, twice. We should do that, and it tells you it's updating the course. And that's it, the end. So it's successfully updated, and that's all you have to do, and we're ready for action. Now, the other thing, so that's really how pursuit works. It's really dead easy. On a Wednesday evening, same thing. The race start time would be 18:15, and the finish time on here would be 80 minutes. And don't ask me what 80 minutes is off the top of my head because I can't remember. But basically that would be the end time. And providing the race starts at 6:15, that's the start signal, not the first preparatory signal, because that would be 6 minutes before. Then that works fine. The only difference on a handicap is you'd put the course in, but you would put the total course in that the first boat has sailed. So if it's 4 laps, you would type in the course 4 times into there. The other thing, key setting change on the handicap, is you would have finish through start. So you would turn that on to make that a finish through start, because obviously on a lap time handicap, it is lapped times. And that's all you have to do. So it is remarkably simple. The key thing, of course, is making sure that on the handicap races, if you scroll down the screen, you're choosing the right race and the right start time. Now, if, for example, there aren't that many boats going out as we've had the last 2 Sundays, then you may well do all the starts at the same time. But that means you've got to adjust the fast fleet time to the sort of save time. Sorry, that's 13:33 on there. But you then also have to do the slow fleet, and if there's asymmetrics, the asymmetrics as well. So you'd have to set them all to the same start time. In terms of on a handicap, because it's lap timed, if I just go into the slow fleet one for a minute, what you tend to do is set the finishing time. So this is slow race 4. So I'm going to set that one to 13:36, and I've set it so it finishes an hour later. Okay, now the race isn't going to last an hour, but when you actually finish the racing, when the last boat finishes at the handicap race, you come back into the app, you go to end, you click on now and update. Okay, so you type in the full course the first boat has sailed. So it's 4 laps, do it 4 times. You go down to here, end, and if you shorten the course because you're not going to race for an hour, you click on now after the last boat has finished and update race. And that is as simple as it gets. So here you are back in your race menu. If you want to sort of pull up the list of entries so people can see their trackers, home button, you go onto the website on here, you go into race sign on. This is back onto the website that most people would have used to enter in the first place. You click on the link and there's all your entries there so people can see who's actually entered. If anybody wants to sign on, they can do so, but remember they must sign on at least 20 minutes before the first starting signal. But if anybody wants to know their trackers, there they all are on that page, with the same with the club page. Right, you can probably hear some music playing. So that's been done quite easily by Bluetoothing your mobile phone to the Belkin device, which is on the player there. So you turn the amplifier on with the 2 switches I mentioned earlier, connect your phone via the Belkin, and you can play some music for everybody, keep them entertained. The other important job is to hoist the red ensign and the club flags up the club mast, but also remember they need to be removed at the end of the day. Club office is useful because there are spare keys to all the other bits and pieces, but an office key is required. But there are spare keys should any of the other keys go missing in the club office. Obviously, here is the other board. In here, you'll find spray, you'll find a pen, so you can actually scrub clean, make it good, do it going on. If anybody wants to know the times, all the suit race times on here, 70, 100 and 80 minute times. What's happening on here. If the lights don't come on, there's a green button here to press. You can press that button and you should find that the lights flicker and everything works on there. Hi, it's me. So I've just been out sailing, windy day, a little bit tired, I'm fine. So just going to go through some of the end of day procedures. So key things are, I'm going to flick the camera around in a second and do some other bits and pieces. So tracker tables need to be moved back indoors, tracker tables there. The other key thing is all the trackers go back onto the docking stations. Key thing is remember the numbers correspond with the trackers. Just check for red lights. They should all be twinkling. You should see twinkling lights. If it's solid light, it's charged, which is rather good. That includes the pole, which would have been on the either the club mast or on the committee boat, an ODM, which needs to be brought in. Bags are all in there. Box just for trackers next time round, and all the race kit put back into where it goes. The final things to be done at the end of the day: locking the balcony doors, then locking the bar, Putting the balcony door keys back into the drawer over here, and the bar and clubroom keys go into the locker outside in the clubroom. Just one thing that just comes to mind is also make sure the flags are taken down off the mast, because the canopy, you can't always see them. And that's it. So that's your day as a OOD. Okay, and just another quick thing to remember is if the urn has been turned on and the red light is glowing, at the end of the day, just make sure it is turned off. So part of the end of the day procedures, the other things to check out for is that RibTech goes back into the garage, which is this one here, and that the garage doors are left locked so that they are secure. Okay, my next little bit about duties is on just covering the bar and how to manage the bar in terms of app, but also taking payments. Okay, so we go back to our trusty iPad, and as you see on here at the end, you've got the sum up sort of symbol. So that's what we use to take payments. So we click on there and it will open up. Right, now if it's all regular price stuff, you can see here the different items that are on there. So for example, as you scroll down, you can see various different icons to make it easy. However, not necessarily everything's on there on the price. If it is an item that's on here, you can literally go down, click and enter. So for example, if somebody was after, not that we have it available at the moment, but bacon roll, you can click on bacon roll and it says a 1 and it's added it to the cart. Now over here on this side, you can then charge it. So you click on charge. It tells you how do you want to do it, and the answer is card reader. And when you press card reader, it will then trigger this device to want to have a card payment taken. And when it does, it will bleep and make funny noises. Okay, so that's method 1. So if I clear the cart, method 2 is if it's not an item that's priced, you can simply click on the dots on here, and it comes up with the keypad, and you could enter in how much the item is. So if it's £2.50, then you add it to the cart, and as you can see, the cart's got £2.50 in it. Charge, card reader, done, job done. Simple as that. No cash and very simple card payment system. So as you can see, the iPad's already got a cable to make sure that's on charge, and the sum up device, once again, there's a cable here with the word sum up behind the bar, and it goes on there. If you any queries about prices, obviously there's the prices on here. I'll turn it onto the light, you can see. So you see all the prices on there. Okay, simple.